What's going on, Veve fam? Welcome to Veve Investments. I appreciate you tuning in. On today's episode, we're talking about 8 ways that you can use ChatGPT to build and accelerate your growth on Veve. So if you guys enjoy the content, make sure to like and subscribe. Comment down below what you want to see in a future episode. And without further ado, sit back, relax, and enjoy. So I'm actually thinking of making this a short series, and there's 3 reasons why. 1, this bot is always evolving. 2, I'm always learning new things about it right now. And then 3, there's far more applications than what I discussed in today's video that you can use this AI bot for. So if you guys happen to enjoy today's video, let me know in the comment section down below, and I'll make sure to continue this series. But like I said, we're talking about 8 ways to use it to build and accelerate your growth on Veve. So with that being said, let's hop into the first method. So something I did mention in our previous video, but we're going to talk about it a little bit more in depth now, and that's going to be using the bot to generate copyright, okay? So there are going to be many different use cases here. First one being social media content. I am going to toss an example up on screen, and in today's episode, we're going to run through many different examples. So I asked the bot to write a brief social media post that promotes my virtual art gallery showing that's going to be taking place in the VEVEVERSE. This is what it said. Exciting news, my virtual art gallery is opening soon in the VEVEVERSE. Join me for an immersive experience showcasing some of my latest creations. From vivid landscapes to thought-provoking abstracts, there's something for everyone. Don't miss out on this unique opportunity to explore art in a whole new way. Mark your calendars and see you there. And it even included hashtags for the post as well. Now, another copywriting example here can be promotional or advertising content, right? So I asked the bot, I said, write an elevator pitch for me to use to sell 3D modeling services to potential customers in the metaverse. This is what it said. It said, looking to bring your digital creations to life in the metaverse? Look no further. Our 3D modeling services offer high-quality, realistic designs that will make your virtual spaces stand out. Whether you need custom avatars, stunning landscapes, or intricate objects, our team of experienced designers can bring your vision to life. Plus, with our streamlined process and fast turnaround times, you can start using your new designs in no time. Don't settle for basic 3D models. Let us take your digital creations to the next level. Contact us today to learn more. Now, on top of those 2 examples, you can also use the bot for any email campaigns or drip campaigns you want to run out to potential customers. The bot can come up with those. Sales pitches, just ran through one. Summarizing copyright. So let's say you run a business inside the VEVEVERSE, right? You run an agency. Your process is having your potential clients book a consultation with you. Well, ideally, being the business owner, you want these procedures written out. That way it's easier to scale your business and train any new hires you end up bringing on. So you can summarize all of those standard operating procedures, or in other words, SOPs, using ChatGPT. So next up, and probably the reason I've used the bot the most right now, is brainstorming. You can use this thing to come up with so many ideas, like it's crazy. So let's walk through some examples here. I asked the bot, what kind of services can I provide in the metaverse to make money? This is what it said. The metaverse offers a vast range of opportunities to make money, and the options are continually expanding as the technology evolves. So here are some examples. 3D modeling services, virtual real estate, advertising and marketing, virtual event planning, virtual goods creation, gaming and esports, virtual assistant, and consulting. Within a matter of seconds, it lists 8 services that you can provide in the metaverse to make money, but on top of that, it provides a description for each one of them as well. Now, just looking up at point number 1 again, 3D modeling services. So I took this a step further and I actually asked the bot, I said, come up with 10 ideas for 3D models that I can make and sell to other users in the metaverse. Boom, 10 ideas, custom avatars, vehicles, furniture, weapons and gear, creatures, buildings, landscapes, gadgets, accessories, food and drink. And again, just like our last example, providing a description for each one of them. I almost feel like I'm cheating. Like this almost feels like a life hack. You can use the bot for copywriting, coming up with ideas, right? Creating names. I even have poems on this slide because we've seen others in the community with the snapping of the fingers, right? So with that being said, a little shout out to Superstar Money and Akomi Fro, or Fro Akomi. I can't remember which way it is. Apologies there. But I even asked the bot, I said, write a brief poem about Veve's virtual space, the VEVEVERSE. Check this out. In the VEVEVERSE, oh, what a sight. A digital world, a land of light. A place where art and culture reign, and imagination knows no chain. Each corner boasts a different scene, a wonderland beyond the screen. From music halls to hidden nooks, a paradise for curious looks. Here, fantasy and reality combine, a place where dreams become designed, where pixels breathe and come to life and endless possibilities thrive. So come and explore this virtual space and look yourself in its embrace. The VEVEVERSE awaits with open doors to welcome you in its digital shores. Wow. I really don't know what else to say than that. Now you can also use the chat AI to make improvements to work you've already done. So check this out. Going back to previous examples we've already used in this video, GPT created a social media post that promoted my virtual art gallery I plan on doing in Q1 or whenever we get access to our Veve homes. But I noticed that in this description, there was no date. Now keep in mind guys, little disclaimer here, there is no date, but obviously when I promote this, I need to include that. So I added a second prompt right after it generated that description, and I said add the date the event is actually happening on, which is April 1st, 2023. Again, it's not happening on that date. And again, within seconds, it regenerated that exact same description, but with the date included. Here's another example. So I asked the bot to generate an elevator pitch to sell 3D modeling services, as we previously discussed, but I noticed that within this description, it said team of experienced designers, okay? I don't have a team of experienced designers, right? It would just be myself right now. So I responded with a second prompt saying, I don't have a team, I create 3D models myself. So it regenerated that exact same description, but as if it's only me providing the work and I don't have a team of experienced designers behind me. So in terms of some of the improvements you can make, I mean, oh my God, the possibilities again are endless, but you know, some that I have on screen here are improvements to your previous thoughts and ideas, copyright for social media content, advertising content, emails, blogs, website, whatever it may be. Heck, you can even write out your business model in ChatGPT and have it suggest any improvements you can make to your business model. Next up, and this is one I'm still kind of playing around with myself. I know you can do it. It's just there are still kind of a little bit of kinks involved here. But if you write the prompt properly, you can have the AI bot generate Python scripts for Blender to help aid in your creations. So what I mean by that, guys, is you have the option of creating items in Blender using what's called a text editor. So you can have the AI bot generate a certain design or create a certain model, copy that script over into the text editor within Blender, run the script, and then next thing you know, a design or something that may have taken hours, if not days, for a designer to make has only taken a matter of minutes. So as I'm saying this, I'm sure I would have tossed an example up on screen so you guys know what I mean. But on top of platforms like Blender, the VEVEVERSE is going to have its own scripting feature, okay? Now, of course, we're limited with the amount of details we have on this feature, but I would not be surprised in the slightest bit if this bot would work in some way with the scripting feature in the VEVEVERSE. Something that I would have paid a programmer on Upwork or Fiverr to code is something that I can now put into ChatGPT and have the bot create for me. I do also see a lot of people in the community using the Midjourney AI bot. That's a bot that generates art. You can do the exact same thing with that bot, generate extremely intricate AI designs, import those designs into Blender, and turn 2D images into 3D objects. It's incredible. Next up, creating stories. So we just saw the Veve 500 drop by Metaverse Lifestyle. Absolutely insane. I highly recommend watching it if you haven't checked it out already. By far, and I'm not trying to be disrespectful here, but by far the best fan-made creation I've seen in the community to date. But using an AI bot like ChatGPT, you can come up with a creative story like what Metaverse did for the Veve 500. So here's an awesome example for you guys. I put into the chat, write a brief but compelling story about a battle between Ron English's serial killers and Marvel's Marvel Mighties on Veve. This is what it gave me back, and this is so awesome. Feel free to pause the video and read it yourself, but I'll walk through it quickly now. The battle between Ron English's serial killers and Marvel's Marvel Mighties raged on in the digital world of Veve, a place where anything was possible. On one side, the serial killers, a band of mischievous characters made up of sugary breakfast cereal mascots. They were armed with spoons and ready to fight for their right to exist in the world of Veve. On the other side, the Marvel Mighties, a team of superheroes led by Iron Man and Captain America. Iron Man is not a Marvel Mighty, but whatever. They are determined to keep the digital world of Veve safe from any threats, even those as small as the serial killers. The battle began with a clash of metal and plastic as Iron Man and Captain America charged towards the serial killers. The serial killers fought back with their spoons, flinging cereal at the Mighties with reckless abandon. For hours, the battle raged on, with neither side gaining the upper hand. But as the sun began to set, it seemed as though the Marvel Mighties were beginning to gain the upper hand. One by one, the serial killers fell until only their leader, Count Calorie, remained. With a final push, the Marvel Mighties overpowered the Count and the serial killers. They had emerged victorious in the battle for Veve. But even as the dust settled and the spoons were put away, a new respect had formed between the two sides. Perhaps, in time, they would be able to coexist in the digital world of Veve, even if they were still on opposing sides of the battlefield. Ladies and gents, all I did was put in the prompt and this story was created in a matter of minutes. The creative potential for a tool like this is insane, but what's even cooler to me is if you are already creative, a tool like this only complements your creativity. Now, another opportunity I see to use this bot is actually something a popular YouTuber does already on the platform. His name's Mr. Beast, but it's also something that Veve intends to do with the app, and that's localization. So producing your content across multiple different languages to capture a larger audience. So this will allow you to create content for people in multiple different regions, and it's faster than Google because what you can do is you can copy and paste the copyright right into the search bar, but you can translate it into multiple different languages at once. Now, I only speak one language, that being English, obviously. Geez, what am I saying? But I can take a tool like this and translate all of the content that I use for my business, on my socials, on my website, wherever it may be, into multiple different languages. So here are 3 quick examples for you guys. The story that I just walked you through with the serial killers and Marvel Mighties, I translated it into Spanish, I translated it into French, and I also translated it into Mandarin. So to make a longer story short, ChatGPT makes translating much easier and more efficient for the user. Now this is an obvious one, so I'm going to brush past it relatively fast, but using ChatGPT to aid in your research. So it is going to work similar to Google, but the main advantage is that it brings the answer to you. So I mentioned this in the last episode, that when you search something on Google, you still need to find the right answer and filter out all the bad information. Right now, ChatGPT is evolving. It's learning constantly based off of how people are using the tool. So yes, you might get the wrong answer from time to time, but for the most part, its accuracy is on point, and this is just the start. Another massive advantage to using this tool, though, is that you have the ability to ask it to do certain things that build off of your previous prompts. So if I was to put in a question on Google search bar, all of the information that pops up when I click search will be answers to the question I just asked. But if I now erase that question in the search bar and put a follow-up question with no additional context, Google won't know what I'm talking about. ChatGPT will. So here's going to be one example of how you can use it for research. I asked the bot, who are Veve's main competitors in the NFT space? It came back and said, Veve's main competitors in the NFT space include platforms such as OpenSea, Nifty, Gateway, Super Rare, and Rareable. These platforms also offer a variety of digital assets and collectibles and have gained a significant following within the NFT community. Additionally, there are other blockchain-based marketplaces and platforms that are emerging in the NFT space, so the competition is likely to continue to evolve over time. Now, just like I said, how you can build on your previous prompts, I then asked the bot to tell me more about one of the specific companies it mentioned, that being Rareable. It said Rareable is a decentralized marketplace that allows users to buy, sell, and create unique digital assets on the blockchain. The platform is built on the Ethereum network, and it utilizes the ERC 721 token standard, which enables the creation of non-fungible tokens. One of the key features of Rareable is that it allows creators to mint their own NFTs, which can be anything from digital art to music to virtual real estate. Creators can set their own prices, and they receive a portion of the proceeds from each sale. Rareable also has a social component with a feed that displays recently minted NFTs and allows users to follow and interact with each other. Additionally, Rareable has its own governance token, Rari, which can be used to vote on proposals related to the platform's development and direction. While Rareable is still a relatively new player in the NFT space, it has already gained a significant following and has facilitated a number of high-profile sales, including a digital artwork by the artist Beeple that sold for $69 million in March of 2021. So as you guys can see, it's not a 1 or 2 line description to what I asked, right? It's like I'm sitting down and talking to an actual human. And the last thing we're going to discuss today, guys, is going to be challenging arguments. So I don't think anybody can argue this. We have a very, very passionate community that is often divided. You have one side that makes one argument, and then you have the other side that's kind of, challenging that argument. Now you can actually use this bot to write an argument from multiple different perspectives to help challenge or solidify your argument. So in this case, I said, write an argument for why many of the world's largest brands and IP are flocking to a centralized platform called Veve and not decentralized platforms. Before you do this, provide multiple diverse perspectives multiple diverse perspectives, okay? That's key there. And state the characteristics of the various characters. So then it came out with this full description, providing me with 3 different arguments from 3 different perspectives as to why businesses are choosing a centralized platform versus decentralized. So again, you guys can pause and read yourself, but I'm going to run through it real fast here. It said there's different perspectives when it comes to why many of the world's largest brands and IP are choosing to partner with centralized platforms like Veve over decentralized platforms. So here are some potential perspectives and characteristics of the various characters. Perspective 1, centralized platforms like Veve offer more stability and security for brands. This is something we actually just discussed in one of our more recent episodes. This perspective values security and stability and may prioritize risk management over innovation. They may be risk adverse and prefer to work with established centralized platforms that have a proven track record. Perspective 2, centralized platforms like Veve have more resources that can provide better support for brands. This perspective values support and resources and may prioritize efficiency over flexibility. They may be looking for a platform that can provide them with the tools and resources they need to succeed and may be willing to sacrifice some autonomy for that support. Perspective 3, centralized platforms like Veve offer more control over the branding and user experience. So this perspective values branding and control and may prioritize consistency over innovation. They may be looking for a platform that allows them to maintain a consistent brand image and user experience, and may be wary of decentralized platforms where they have less control over how the brand is represented. Overall, while there are certainly benefits to decentralized platforms, such as greater transparency and a more decentralized power structure, there are also advantages to working with centralized platforms like Veve. For brands that value stability, support, and control over their branding and user experience, centralized platforms may be the better choice. Additionally, as centralized platforms continue to evolve and incorporate more decentralized features, the distinction between centralized and decentralized platforms may become less clear-cut. So as you guys can see, this prompt is extremely powerful. All 3 of those perspectives were valid arguments. And as for all of the FUD and, arguments being made on Twitter all the time, I really hope some people on Twitter start using this feature. So all in all, guys, I think this is going to be part 1 of the ChatGPT series. Again, let me know down below if you did enjoy this video. But just to sum up some key benefits of the platform, if you can use Google, you can use ChatGPT. It's extremely easy to use. It saves tons of time. That's pretty self-explanatory there, as you guys saw with the examples in this episode. It helps complement your own creativity by building on your own thoughts and ideas. So if you already have very creative thoughts of your own, you can use this bot to take it to a whole other level. And last but not least, one thing I'll highlight here, ChatGPT provides you with a huge advantage against people who aren't using AI. I've made some comments in the past about how AI scares me, and that's just my honest opinion, it does. But I also understand that it's not something I can avoid. It's the future, it's here to stay, so I might as well embrace it than run away from it. Ladies and gents, that's going to conclude episode 52 of Veve Investments. I hope you enjoyed. If anyone has any idea when David's doing this interview with Binance New Zealand, please let me know in the comment section down below. I really want to make sure that I tune in for that, record it, and take all the notes I need to recap it for you guys. But as for this episode, if you enjoyed, make sure to like and subscribe, comment down below what you want to see in a future episode. And as for our next, I'll catch you then.